basically, at the ICANN home, we have staffing of 14 persons who have direct and indirect contact with the children. We have a remedial teacher, a retired headmistress, who now volunteers to teach the children reading and maths. Also, we have a homework guidance person who enters at 2 and leave at 5, and basically does the supervision of homework. So that's what we have. The church and the local community, they do play a part in our regular home. They do come sometimes on Saturday morning, give lesson to the children about the Bible. And every now and again, the Seventh-day Adventists will come and do activities with the children. And if they do make a contribution, it's always that one time and in the form of whether it's what they produce at their gardens or things they bought for the children as a token of appreciation. Our age group in the home, the youngest being 4 and the eldest being 17 going on 18. We have a cross-section of genders, and we are predominantly boys, so we have something like 16 to 17 boys living in the home. And most of them are during puberty, and you can imagine the kind of problems that we experience during that age group. Mr. Heiliger asks about USONA funding and also about the ages and employees and possibility of skill building and job experience. I must say that one boy who's about to age out, he has been doing a side job since last year, diving, and now that he's doing his GED, he kind of suspended that job because of being in his final years and also attending GB preparatory, because he wants to do aviation mechanics and he needs a GED as a requirement to get a scholarship to enter the U.S. So he's busy with that, so he's doing 2 things simultaneously. Mr. Leonard, MP, asks about the same thing, if they were working, and about the requirements for the scholarship, and I think Ms. Benjamin mentioned it, but I went a little further in approaching study financing because I was looking at him, what will be the future of him. And I know that I was told that certain requirements on the form that needs to be filled out can be waived because of non-parental input, and either a church or court of guardianship can send a supporting letter about the requirement of the taxes. Basically, I think that was all that we mentioned, but I must say that according to the rights of a child and the fact that the midwife was holding back the birth certificate of certain children, I do have 2 undocumented children still in the home and also no medical coverage for them. And that have been so for many years. There were 5 and now we're down to 2, but still it's cumbersome because if you look at them reaching the age that they need to go high school or even apply for scholarships and stuff like that, that's going to be an impediment for them.
It has been quite a sad weekend, I'm sure, especially for the clients and all the people who depend on Debbie. She was one of those people who gave heart and soul to these very vulnerable young people who, landed in a situation not of their choosing. Circumstances put these children in a position, and, Debbie played a big role in their lives here in the Dutch Quarter area. So it is with deep sadness that we learned of her passing, and I only can pray that her dream will continue to be exploited by those who already work for the foundation, and that, they receive her light. She has passed, but her light must live on, and the children must continue to receive care. For me, that is the highest priority, and I think that would be her highest priority. But she has meant a great deal as a Dutch Quarter icon for the young people, the youth and children of St. Martin. So it is very, very sad indeed.
As a former Minister of Education, you had have the opportunity to work with Debbie as well. How well do you remember her?
Very well. Actually, most of our interactions, because the children's homes are actually financed through VSR. So in that respect, not. But everything that would deal with youth issues, any activities that we would have, and more specifically in my own foundation, I would do a yearly back-to-school event, and she would always make sure to get the children out to participate, where they'd be also able to get school bags, school materials, etc., to get back to school, uniforms and the like. She always made sure that they participated. So several different organizations I've worked very closely together with Debbie to make sure that some of those children get their needs. But also, as a former principal of the Dr. Martin Luther King School, several of the children attended school there, and, you could rely on her come in and have the discussions pertaining to the children, and very positive, collaborative person, I think she's also very strict, and some of the children really require a lot of structure to get over the humps and challenges that they face. So I really, really pray that her legacy continues to live on.
It's a great loss to the children and the staff of ICANN Foundation that is left behind. And we've had opportunity a few times over the years to help with donations to the foundation. I believe more than a couple of years ago, former MP Leonard and myself took the kids on a bus for a day out, and these kids had such a great time. We didn't put any publications to it because it was for these children. We had a ball. I'm sure that there are other organizations as well who assist with the social part of showing these children that there are people in this community that really care. And the ICANN Foundation, with Ms. Gibbs at the helm, really fills a much-needed social safety net in support of these children.
You have had the opportunity to at least interact with Ms. Gibbs. What kind of a person would you therefore say that she was?
Kind. One word, kind. Dedicated, and never losing sight of what the foundation stood for. The times that we interacted, I believe I even saw her last week for the last time. It's so uncanny, with a big smile on her face. And knowing what we all know, the effort that she makes, the sacrifice that she makes, selfless sacrifice on a daily basis for decades to care and nurture these kids and give them a sense of hope, letting them know that there are people who really care for them, and she personifies that.
What would be a word of advice to those persons who especially have worked very closely with her?
To follow in her big footsteps, follow in her commitment and her passion to make this home, this location, this institution, a loving institution for the kids that they care for, and never give up. Ms. Gibbs never gave up regardless of the difficult times, and the different businesses and other individuals who anonymously help and donate. Even more than ever, we should honor her legacy, honor her time and dedication by continuing to support the ICANN Foundation. The children should feel and know that even with her passing, that her legacy will continue to go on with someone else stepping in together with her dedicated staff to make sure that these children continue to feel safe and that they know that they have a future right here on this St. Martin.
Just like the rest of the community of St. Martin, we heard of Miss Gibbs' passing away, and immediately we were struck by the impact of the loss, not just to St. Martin's foster community, but the NGO community as a whole. Ms. Gibbs has been a champion of multiple causes as the director and initiator of the ICANN Foundation. She has cared for a number of children for over 20 years. She has been a client of SMDF since 2013. SMDF has provided grants towards the operations of ICANN Foundation, and we have had a long, wonderful working relationship with her, and it is definitely something that we are so sorry to have the community experience today. Her loss will definitely be felt for a long time to come.
Based on your interaction with Ms. Gibbs, how best do you remember her?
As SMDS Program and Development Manager, I have the first line of contact and communication with our NGO clients, and I can truly say I have nothing but positive memories and working experiences with Ms. Gibbs. While she definitely was a champion for her cause, she always had a pleasant demeanor. She was a joy to be around. I can truly say that, even though she worked in sometimes difficult circumstances, she always kept a positive outlook and mindset, and that's something that I remember her most fondly for.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Back in September 2018, between September and December, the union received a document from government for advice where it pertains to the remuneration of civil servants. So within this particular policy, it deals with what sort of financial benefits and rights and whatever have you that civil servants can enjoy. Mr. Moore, I'm going to be quite honest with you. Our union looked at our document and totally changed it. Totally changed it.
Why did you change?
Because while I would say you are asking me to give some cosmetic changes, we went a bit further and went to the root of the matter. For instance, according to this particular policy, it says that a female is entitled to child allowance. The child allowance, Mr. Moore, is 55 guilders. Okay? Based on what my mother explained to me, that has been like that for almost 40 years because I'm almost 40. Okay? Now, can you imagine a parent, a female, making 55 guilders for child allowance, Mr. Moore, in this day and age? What message are you sending? Now, Mr. Moore, you might not know, but the majority of our members in the Wixie PSU union are women. Yeah. The majority of whom are mothers. So therefore, we use it as an opportunity, right, to represent their particular concerns and their issues. You understand what? They must see themselves in it. So we said, no, we want this cost of living, we want this child allowance to be increased to 150 guilders. And we were being modest. And we wanted indexed to the cost of living adjustment. You understand? Working mothers, working families deserve better, Mr. Moore. And we made a number of significant amendments to the particular document because the approach was, this is a document that will affect many civil sovereigns. The Wakes PSU called about 3 to 4 membership meetings. Okay? Inviting our members to come debate, and there was some heavy debates because many times we left there about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Debates, right? On this particular document. Yes, because we must all agree.
Yes, I agree.
We must all agree. That's why it's so important for social dialogue.
Yeah.
You understand? Any policy that will affect your world of work, you should receive the opportunity to be consulted and to give your feedback on it. You understand? That's your right.
That's fair.
That's your right.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we did. So at the end of it, we produced our counter proposal, as it were, and hopefully within short, we'll be meeting with a council of ministers to go through this document bit by bit by bit.
Can you, that generates another question
Sure.
that I would like to get some
Sure.
response on. How was it received?
What's that?
The document that
Received
was
by whom?
totally changed. Well, from whom it came.
Well, with big eyes, of course, because I would imagine that you asked us to, give a few suggestions.
Yes.
And we basically created a whole new document, as it were. You understand? Because we are saying, look here, if this policy is affecting our workers, we need to have a review.
Yeah.
There needs to be a review. You understand what I'm saying? It can be, for example, Mr. Moore, we looked at the matter of the run-up salary. In Dutch, it's called the aanloopschaal. The aanloopschaal suggests that if you apply for a job and it's on a scale 6, right? The scale 6 means that it's connected to a particular salary.
Correct.
Good. So now in the government salary table, you have scales and steps. So say, for example, you want to apply for a job, a clerk, and that's on a scale 6, but you may not have the requisite skills, training, or whatever have you. They might say, well, you know what? We'll put you on a scale 5.5. So just beneath. And then if you get a good evaluation, right, you'll get to go in the functional scale. But the thing is this, Mr. Moore, depends on the dynamics of your organization, yeah, you might not get an evaluation for X amount of years. There might be a change of management, for example. So all the while now, the individual is stuck within this particular scale.
Yes.
And they might even forget, because when you apply, it doesn't say on your contract that you're in this particular scale. You understand? So you can imagine now, Mr. Moore, you have a civil servant is eager for a job, because right now 7 people is chasing one job. They're glad to get something. Not a problem. You get in. You're learning the ropes. You are now adding, your competence and everything to this particular job, adding value to the service, but you're not being compensated for it.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds. and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Stephanie Medina, and I play football with the Walichi Women's Soccer team. I have represented St. Martin in many different games. For example, the Dutch Caribbean Women's Soccer Cup. I played against Bonaire, Aruba, and Curacao right here in this stadium. Sports matter to me because it makes me happy, it keeps me fit and healthy, and it is very fun. So I asked the business community to take on this challenge and help us rebuild our facilities. And I also asked the community to nominate the local businesses in your area and take on the challenge and step up for sport. Why? Because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sport Facebook page for more information. Hashtag sports matter, hashtag are you in?
And going back on where they cannot find answers pertaining to what my brother Yezurun, my colleague Yezurun was talking about, dating back the decree to 2018. We have now on the investigation the matter of former Prime Minister Marcel Gomes, who at the time tried to retroactively to instate the rental committee, and that was turned down. So I believe that the respective entities are playing with fire, because clearly Marcel couldn't reinstate them nor their decisions, and that is facts. But subsequently, when we are going to deal with the whole rental issue here in St. Martin, when we are going to deal also with the whole issue about the kingdom government and emergency funds and funding that need to come for social homes, because again, rental prices, if we have sufficient homes in this society, that means building of sufficient homes, we will see a decline or decrease in the prices for sure. You understand? So we will address that separately, this whole issue of rent, ombudsman, decision, rental committee coming soon. But we'll say that there's no need for not answering the government if a decree is not in place or if it's in violation. Because even the ombudsman could have sent that further for further analysis by, again, other bodies within the constitutional system that could have given their advice if this was done correctly. So the ombudsman know that our coalition will be looking to have a serious meeting within short with them to truly deal with matters pertaining to the general public.
The ombudsman was in the news this week, informing the public of the investigation that the ombudsman has started into the home repair needs of the people in the different districts of St. Martin. We applaud the ombudsman for this initiative. Last year, in January, the ombudsman started a systematic investigation into the rental committee. That investigation resulted in a report with recommendations for improvement of the services of the rental committee. In the next press briefing, we will go into more details about the rental situation on the island. When the Ombudsman announced the investigation into the rental committee last year, she said, and we quote, "More than 4 months after the passing of the devastating hurricanes, the Ombudsman has not been provided requested from government information about persons who lost their homes, persons who are residing in emergency shelters, and or have filed for social assistance. We wonder if the Ombudsman has now received the data of how many persons lost their homes, how many persons are displaced, how many families are still waiting without an adequate house that can resist a Cat 5 plus hurricane. Since the Ombudsman has been interviewing all kinds of entities and organizations to assess the home repair needs of the people and the response of government, we will request a meeting with the Ombudsman as Anti-Poverty Platform Consumers Coalition to dialogue with the Ombudsman about the housing needs of the people of St. Martin, especially of the 13,000 poor and needy households in our society. With the information that we have just provided you already about the pace of the National Recovery and Resilience Plan implementation, we think that the Ombudsman seriously has to look into this issue that is of our greatest concern.